Okay, now the idea here of having this inheritance is not just to have the children, right, the classes that are inheriting from the parent, to just get the stuff from parents, because all these children are unique in the real world. If you're married, you have children, you notice that your kids may have all of the characteristics that you and your wife have, okay, genetically speaking, but they have their own characteristics. So that's the idea. They have to have their own flexibility, their own identity. Same here, Bonnie and Paulo, although they are type person, which means they extend from person, that doesn't mean that they are just what a person can do, right? We all have different talents, different things. Well, previously what I did, you notice that I added a local for Bonnie, a local member variable there, and for Paulo also a total different member variable. But we can go farther with that. So for instance, let's say we create a method here called void say hello. Okay, this is the method, say hello. And it's going to just print hello. Okay. And of course, go for Bonnie here. I can go and say Bonnie dot say hello, because that would work. As well for Paulo dot say hello. That still works. But if we run, we all going to be able to say hello. So Bonnie says hello and Paulo also says hello. Now, what if we want to say, okay, Paulo, for instance, is a guy from Mozambique who speaks Portuguese, and so he doesn't really say hello in Portuguese, right? In Portuguese, it's alô, right? And Bonnie, as an American, beautiful woman who happens to be my wife, she speaks English, so she would obviously say hello. Or maybe she speaks Spanish or a different language. How do we then make it so that, because we inherited from our person, which means we also inherited all these methods, but how do we then make it so that Paulo, for instance, he's also able to call this hello, but he wants to override the hello because he can't say hello in English. Suppose he doesn't speak English, right? How do we do that? Well, we could go ahead and create another method, call it Paulo says hello, which would work. But since we already have all this functionality, what we can do now for the power, with the power vested in us by inheritance here, we can actually override methods. This is another power, folks. We can override methods to make them unique to us, to a specific class or object. The moment you type here, say hello, look at that. It even says, it knows because you are calling it from Paulo's. The only reason why you won't want to do this is because you want to override it to make it specific to Paulo, which means I hit enter. This is what happened, right? It says to do implements hello. In this case, it's saying super hello. That's what's happening. But we don't want to call this super. Super is the parent. Who is the parent? This person is the parent because we're inheriting from person, which means we're calling this super.hello. Well, we don't want that, right? That's why it says to do implement say hello. Well, we're going to get rid of here, this, and I'm going to go ahead and say print hola. To be more specific here, I'm going to create a Portuguese like that. There we go. Now check this out. All I did is I override the say hello in Paulo, which means now at runtime, it's going to go through, say Paulo inherits from person, there's say hello. But because I said override here, there's this notation, right? It says at override, it's going to print hola, right? Let's run this and see. Look at this. Now it says hola. Ooh. The power we're getting here, folks. So here we're saying, hey, I'm Paulo. I'm extended from my parents, my person, okay, object or class in this case. But hey, I want to say my own way hello. I don't want to say, because I don't speak English. So why would I just keep inheriting something that I don't speak, that I don't understand? I don't say hello. I say hola. And there we go. This is another powerful thing here. Override, it says at annotation override, and then say hello. This tells the compiler that, hey, when we get here, we're not going to call say hello from our parent. No, we're actually going to override it and call this one here, which is going to say print hola. Notice for Bonnie, because we just didn't do anything, we didn't override anything, still says hello. Which means also, if we want to complete this, we can go ahead and say, for instance, void show nationality. Okay. Say print, just put a default here, American. Okay. If you run this, in fact, let me go for Bonnie. I'm going to say Bonnie dot show nationality. And for Paulo as well, say Paulo dot show nationality. Guess what's going to happen? Both of us are going to be Americans, but it so happens that I am not American, which means I can come down here. What should I do? Yes, type override, or I can just go ahead and say show nationality. Look at this. It gives me all the things that I need to do here because it knows, the IDE knows, hey, you want to override. If that's the only reason you're calling this inside of Paulo's. Enter, and the same thing. I don't want a super. I'm going to just delete all of this and say print African, like that. In fact, to be more specific, Mozambican. There we go. Run. Look at this. Mozambican for Paulo. And if Bonnie, she's American, yes, but she could also come here and can say nationality like this. Override nationality. I can also change this. She was born in Korea. Say print. Let's say Korean American. She's an American, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, save and run. Look what's going to happen. Now Bonnie is indeed Korean American. Why? Because we are overriding the nationality method. So Bonnie and Paulo now, although they inherit from person, they have all of this information in them. They now can choose what to do for them to be unique. The power of overriding. This is wonderful. Go ahead and implement the same concept here, overriding methods, in your code. Specifically, what the code, the classes that you created previously that I asked you to do. For instance, if you create a hierarchy for a car or a house or anything else that you can think of in the real world, just do the same thing that we did here and call it good. If you have any questions, of course, you know what to do. Oh, I'm so excited. I'll see you next time.